Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. But I think I know. Because we didn't. Because we didn't. Because we didn't.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Noel Joshua Hadley. This is The Unexpected Cosmology. You can see I'm here with David Weiss, a.k.a. Flat Earth Dave, and, of course, my partner in crime, Paulie Hart, my co-host for the day. Welcome, Dave. I'm thrilled that you're here. That was, of course, Drunk Uncle Buzz giving us the down low. If I ever, invited any crazy uncle over to my house for Thanksgiving, I think Drunk Uncle Buzz would be it. And anyways, welcome, Dave. Thank you for being here. And I have to say that as a flat earther myself, and I've been in this for, 10, 11 years now. I came in that first wave there. I always felt like I was left out of the Apollo missions. They ended several years before I was born. I was born in 1980. I'm at the end of Gen X. And so I always felt like I was left out, and I'm excited. I'm excited for these missions. And I brought you on, of course, because you're the rocket man. So hopefully you're doing well today.
I'm doing good. I'm exhausted because, the trolls said that Artemis, what are you flat earthers going to do after Artemis? I'm not going to sleep. That's what I'm going to do because there's so much new content out there. It's the greatest gift to the awakening of the globe lie that they could have given us. It's worse than Apollo, and it's waking up. There's tens of millions of flat earthers, maybe hundreds of millions. It's probably hundreds of millions at this point, easily. And there's a lot of people that are like, I'm wondering, this is pushing everyone over the edge. It's going to quadruple the number of flat earthers in the next couple of weeks. It's insane what's going on.
Dave, is it safe to say that everyone's a flat earther? We just don't know it yet.
Well, that's true. So I do these TikTok lives with the Angels of Light and some other people, and we want an opposition only. And someone comes up, we're like, "Do you believe the Earth is a globe?" And they're like, "Well, I'm on the fence." I'm like, "You're a flat earther. You're just afraid to admit it." And they all end up agreeing. So
I have to say, I am a little bit disappointed as I was researching this week. Obviously, I have been getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep at night. So,
lucky you.
Yeah, and I just had a all beef Chicago dog down the street before we went live, so I've been eating too. But
wait, let me tell you, I'm on a 5-day sardines only diet.
Okay.
You ever hear that?
No, I haven't.
Crazy. It's crazy. The downside is no one will eat with me. My wife won't kiss me, and my cat follows me around all day. But
fishy, man.
It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy, but I feel terrific. I'm on day 4. Got one more day. All right, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
You interrupt all you want. So I was a little disappointed in research because I was just thinking that they would have some sort of programs where they could just put like a camera on the Earth as they're rocketing around the moon. And so far they've delivered, I don't know, 5 photos or something. Like, it hasn't been that many that they've been showing. So yeah, take us away. What for you is the well, I want to talk about the blimps too, because that's a kind of a big theory of yours. We don't have to if you don't want to. But what has been the big thing for you in the last week of not sleeping and eating just sardines? What have you discovered?
Well, the sardines, that was a separate thing. Every year I do a kind of like a protein diet, and this year I tried the sardine diet. Look it up; it's very interesting, all the benefits. But you want to talk about the blimps? Like, now, I think that, again, we can't claim that all rockets are blimps. They're not. Many of them are. But there's many ways they fake it, from literally holograms that you can't tell aren't real, to miniature rockets that you can't tell what size they are, to lighter than air vehicles with a little bit of a rocket on the bottom, which probably is what Artemis was. It could have been a combination, of stuff. And what we see on their official cameras is not the same thing that, excuse me, that people on the beach see. But we see the same thing all the time. We see the rocket go up, curve over, and go into the Bermuda Triangle.
I remember that. Have you ever seen a rocket launch in person?
I have not, but why haven't you done that? Well, I'm just not in Florida at that time when it happens. But my friend Keith, who's Aloha from Florida, on TikTok and YouTube, he's seen over 100 of them, and they all do the same thing. They all do this. They all go up, they curve over, and they go out of distance, and then you're watching a cartoon on TV.
That was my first experience. I saw a rocket launch back in 1997. So what has it been? 30 years now, 29 years, and I was so excited to go to Cape Canaveral, see my first rocket launch, and I had that same observation. I was a full believer, and I remember I was expecting it to go straight up, and then I watched it kind of go arch over and down, and I'm like. And I actually said this out loud. I said it went into the ocean. And this guy next to me, this older guy, he was so upset. I mean, he looked at me and he's like, it went over the curve of the earth. And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
they say that, going up, it uses too much fuel, but you go sideways and you whip yourself around. I mean, the Artemis orbit is just so crazy. It goes around the earth twice, then it slingshots itself to the moon. It goes around the moon, and then it slingshots itself back to Earth. And somehow, on the way back to Earth, it slows down. How do you slow down a rocket in space that's being pulled towards the Earth by gravity?
I was kind of curious about, because apparently this rocket is going further. I think, was it the Apollo 8 that set the record for the furthest out? And this one is going even further out, right? It passed like a record for the furthest out from the moon. And I was kind of curious how they even slingshot that with the moon's gravitational pull.
Dude, it's all so dumb, but people just, they're like, well, they're saying it must be true. I have to just believe it. It's incredible. I'm trying to find. So, just the other day, just yesterday, they said they saw rare, but from their point of view, they saw a solar eclipse of the moon. Right? That means that the moon blocked the sun, and they saw the corona. I have a picture of that. They saw the corona, which is the edge of the sun coming out from behind the moon. Right? So you got to think about perspective. The sun and the moon in the heliocentric model look like they're the same size. Hold on, I lost my microphone. Hold on. Lost my headphone.
Happens to me all the time when I'm live.
So the moon and the sun look like they're the same size, because the sun's bigger and farther. They're not the same size, right? So that's the heliocentric model. You with me?
I'm with you.
And so they look like they're the same size, and then we get these beautiful, perfect eclipses. Amazing. They repeat on an 18-year cycle. Impossible. But, we just have to accept it. And they saw an eclipse where they saw the corona when they were only 4,000 miles. That would make the moon 59 times bigger, right? The moon and the sun cover 1/2 a degree in the sky. Well, it covers 30 degrees. The moon would be 30 degrees of the sky, and this little sun goes behind it, and you're going to see the corona? Nonsense. It's just absolute and total nonsense.
What is the... What I'm kind of curious about is what has changed since the Apollo missions. So we had Apollo, you said they were worse. So take me through that. Because Is it the same old bag of tricks? Are they doing new stuff and it's just falling on its face? You're saying that they're making it look purposely fake.
They're doing well. It feels like they're doing it purposely. It's either an intelligence test or they're just that inept. I think they're really testing people's intelligence. I think that they're trying to get out in front of this. I think they're trying to, like, okay, the hoax is up. How are we going to let the world go without it going into total chaos? It's an interesting strategy, and I don't know if I disagree with it, but it is interesting. I've got a bunch of things, but they're in no order, so we're just going to go with here. This is the launch. Look at this. Does this look like a rocket ship or a bottom of a bouncy house?
It looks like a clown bounce house to me.
Yeah. So this is a rocket that's going to put super hot fuel out at 25,000 miles an hour thrust, which is just crazy. It's stupid. Nothing goes that fast. And they have a friggin' bouncy house. Right. And then the Artemis rocket goes, I think escape velocity is 25,000 miles an hour, but let's just say it goes the same speed as the space station, which it has to go faster, which is 17,000 miles an hour. Look at the aerodynamics of this. It's got this is like PVC pipe that goes up the whole side. You got these blocks sticking out here. This thing's going to go 10 times faster than the SR-71. The SR-71 can't even have paint on it because it gets so hot at Mach 3.2. This thing goes Mach 33. Mach 33 with these right angles, and there's all sorts of stuff. A blunt nose. I don't know what people. I say, what are people thinking? But they're not thinking. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's I think it launches at 17,000 miles per hour, right? The Artemis 1 did, so I'm not sure what the Artemis 2 did.
Yeah. And the thrust coming out to lift that would just blow holes in concrete. There's like a little fence around it. The fence would be gone. Nothing would survive underneath that. But a rocket that big can't even launch, filled, 4 million pounds or whatever they say it is. I think it's more than that. The shuttle was 4 million pounds. The question is, we're getting these in studio shots. They could be on a zero-G plane. I'm not saying I know how to do it. They could be in a green screen. This could be total AI, right? This is, are they in a zero-G plane doing extra cuts and edits? I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. I think they do a lot of filming and they put it together, and AI fixes all the seams up.
Have you seen are they still avoiding the fourth wall, or have they been turning the camera?
Yeah. So no, it's interesting. They always have the guy on the left he's up top here. I'll go back. Well, here, this guy, he's always up on top of the luggage or whatever. And they're always in these same positions. And just yesterday, they released footage where he's on the other side. So they're trying to show you the fourth wall, right? But they're only showing us 3 walls at a time. So
Sure.
Again, it's like people look, oh, there's your fourth wall. It's like, really? Really? It's like going into another set,
What? They need to have one of those guys. Yeah, just have a handheld camera up there, right? And just kind of move it around.
The funny thing is, what do they say? Oh my God, the views are so amazing, right? But we get to watch them playing with their food. We get to watch them laughing and pretending to do stuff on the wall and talking about how they go to the bathroom. Take the friggin' video camera and put it out the window, right? How come we don't? They flew by the moon, but they didn't film it, right? They gave us pictures, right? And then think about this. On a spaceship, every precaution has to take in, everything. Like military, they shave your head, but they always have the girl with the long flowing hair, her hair's all over the place. That would never happen. These guys are wearing bracelets, like little bead bracelets. Why are you wearing a bracelet? And they change their bracelets daily. They have different bracelets on each day, right? Like, why would they even allow them to have a frivolous watch his fingers. His fingers do this is weird AI rendering, and he notices it and he puts it behind his head.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Watch right in here. It's some weird red happens. It's just this is just the beginning. There's so many anomalies, and I think some of them they're giving us, right, because Then they come up with an explanation. They go, "Oh, you crazy flat earthers! Here's the explanation. Look at his finger. What is going on there?" But he noticed it, and notice these guys. They're always looking at something else. Are they looking at a monitor? Because I think they're dealing with a lot of virtual reality stuff, a lot of augmented reality. So,
I'm interested in his chronograph. So he has a chronograph on his left arm and a digital on his right arm. And why is he doing that? Because as I understand it, you have to have a multi-$1,000 chronograph to actually work properly in a less than normal degree gravity.
I'm sure they have an excuse for it, but the reason they have these watches on because they put them on loose, so they're probably not even real watches. They're just floating, and so they have items floating around. I mean, what do? They play with a plush toy. The girl's hair floats around. They play with their food. That's what we get for $70 billion a day, $70 million a day, right? Here's a test for you guys: is this Artemis or ChatGPT?
Two frying pans.
You watch too much of my stuff. Artemis or ChatGPT? You don't know. You have no. You have no. Look at the D. This is actually pretty good. Artemis or ChatGPT or my P1000 in my backyard.
I'm going to say your P1000 in the backyard.
I'm going to say your P1000.
I have way better pictures than this, right? But look at the detail on this.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, look, I guess I was on the other side of the moon because there's the Earth.
Oh, the pale blue dot.
This is the picture that we get from them.
Nice.
This is the actual NASA photo. And they never say photo. I put a NASA photo. They say image. They'll never say photograph.
Yeah, this is where I told you when I was looking into it this week, I was preparing for this. I was really disappointed because I was just expecting that there would be so much they were putting out there that I couldn't keep up with it. And I'm just like, this is it? You got some interviews, you got the Trump phone call, you got a few things.
We're going to go over the Trump phone call. That's a good one. So I did this ChatGPT, simple command. I think it looks better than theirs. I think it looks more realistic than theirs. This one too. That one, I think that's the real one. That one looks more realistic. I mean, what if we lived on a ball? This is ChatGPT. This is what they give us, right? What is this? Is that a Dixie cup?
I have no clue. I don't know.
What is this? What is this? White? What is the white stuff here?
Some champagne flutes. This looks
like a bunch of like gym towels, wet gym towels stacked up with a Dixie cup. Right? Turn it sideways. Okay. And they want you to believe that. I mean, these things aren't even arranged symmetrically. Like, what is this? Right? That's me. I did that. I did all those except the one with the spaceship in it. Here. This is what they gave us. This is the eclipse with the corona they saw. Now remember, right. The sun would be the size of a marble, and the moon would be the size of a yoga ball. And they somehow got the corona. ChatGPT did that in 1 minute, less than a minute. I think mine looks better.
Looks pretty good, Dave.
This is the actual photo. Oh, not photo. This is what they're presenting as the Earthrise. Right? And this. These are two images that we got. Look how insanely horrible this is. Now look, the sun is lighting up the top of the Earth here. Why isn't it lighting up the top of the moon? Right? Because the same side of the Earth and moon should be lit. Yeah. And you know how bright the moon is. The moon's so bright it casts your shadow on the ground. They're right next to it. It would be thousands of times brighter due to the inverse square law because you're closer to the light source. And what do we get? A dusty, dirty ball with little pock marks.
Though I have to say, though, that obviously, we agree that the moon gives forth its own light. It's not reflective. And you can't have, like balls and rocks reflect like we see with the moon. So I almost think that actually fits with a a model that makes sense to me if it was a Copernican universe. A non-reflective moon is what I'm saying. But I did want to throw out these numbers. Did you look at these? I did fact check each of these, and they all appear accurate. I'm just going to go down this list really quickly. The Artemis has 3.3 million pounds of thrust booster.
33.
It has 330 cubic feet of living space. 3.3 meters in capsule height. I found this one really bizarre. Like 3.3 pounds maximum personal belongings are allowed. I looked this up, and it's on the NASA website that they only allowed each of the 4 astronauts to have 3.3 pounds of personal belongings they could bring with them. I mean, that's a specific number. I mean, why not 3.5 or 4 pounds or whatever? When you were dealing with like 4.5 million pounds, right? Like, it just doesn't seem like that would make a huge difference. 3.3 pounds of water for thrusters. They are all wearing their Omega X33 watches. Let's see, 33,000 pounds of thrust to get into space. And I love this one. This one's my absolute favorite, that the Artemis is exactly 322 feet tall. So there's your skull and bones right there.
Amazing. I didn't know that stuff. You want to send me that list? I'd appreciate it if you could.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. This is actually, I'll admit, I got this from a meme. The one thing, and I had to fact check everything. The one thing the meme got wrong, I didn't read it. It says that the Artemis was allowed 33 feet minimum distance from the moon. I'm like, wait, 33 feet? No. It is not flying up 33 feet to the moon. And what it should read is that when they did their first run, like around the Earth orbit the first time, the Orion and the shuttle, I have the notes. They were allowed like 33 feet apart or something like that. But it was very specific to the 33. So there's like 33 all over.
Have you seen the images? People are taking the photo of Earth that they gave us, the image, and mirroring it, and it's Baphomet. It's Baphomet again, just like the old ones.
The in gematria, Artemis 2 a reduction is 33 exactly. So I don't know what they're going to do with the Artemis 3, how they're going to add that up to 33, but this one adds up to 33 exactly.
Do you remember on the Apollo missions? It was just before our time. They had a food product that they promoted that they drank. Do you remember what it was? It was orange Tang. Remember Tang? Yeah.
Well, I remember learning about Tang, but yeah.
But that was big and it was huge, and Tang became huge company because they brought it on the moon. How did they bring Tang to the moon? How do you serve a powdered drink on the moon?
I don't know. I'm one of those guys, you can't land on the moon. So I don't know. I can't answer any of those questions for you.
This time, so you have, it's hard, it's a little dark here, but all 4 astronauts over here, and all of a sudden Nutella comes flying into the scene. They're all over here. Doesn't Newton's law say that something has to put something in motion? Like, where did that come from? That's the director. He's like, are you ready? Send in and it's not physical. It's literally just on another layer. But this is a Nutella ad.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. If my kids were on that shuttle, it'd be a lot more than that going by. I'll tell you that. I will throw this by you because I don't know how much mythology you look into, but obviously Apollo is the sun god, and then Artemis is the moon goddess.
Isn't Artemis Apollo's sister or something?
Twin sister specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apollo. I think it differs. I think was Apollo born first or second? I can't even remember. But what's interesting about this, that has my interest, is that we see Orion and Artemis connected. And even though Artemis was a virgin goddess, she actually had a kind of a love romance with Orion, to the point that Apollo was so jealous of Orion that there's 2 accounts of this, but Artemis kills Orion. in one account, she mistakenly kills him. In another, she purposely murders him because she's so jealous of Orion as well with another lover. But it happens when there's a splashdown and Orion is in the ocean and she shoots him with an arrow and kills him. And it kind of, I'm no crystal ball, but I'm kind of wondering where they're going to take this. If they're going to do another, not with this one, but maybe the third or the fourth, if they do like a psychodramatic episode where they, like the Challenger shuttle where they blew it up. If they do something where, the people in the Orion capsule don't make it. And, all of a sudden it's like the whole country's mourning for them. And that's how they reel people in and hook them emotionally. And then some of us out here going, it's a hoax. And they're like, oh, you insensitive bastard.
That's right. Some of us were saying that, on the launch, it was going to happen. But, we never know what they're going to do. And I don't think they know what they're going to do. I think they literally wake up in the morning like, oh, how are we going to screw with Americans in the world today? Well,
I'll give my theory. I've had a few different theories on why they mess up as much as they do, but my thing on this is that it could be very simple. That for years, my wife worked in the aerospace industry, and I've never had that. She worked for Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and when I would get, the people she worked with, very nice people, but I would go and meet these people. And I remember saying to my wife, we've been married like 25 years. I'd be like, how did we win the Cold War? And for me, it's like the reason why Hollywood does things a lot better. That if I were really skilled at the art of deception, I would rather be in an industry where I'm going to get recognized and make a lot of money doing it than working for the government and nobody knows what I'm doing. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. I just think that they have a hard time finding people who are going to successfully lie to everybody. So that's my theory. I don't know if you have a different one.
I had a point and I lost it, but it'll come back. It'll come back to me. What were you saying just before that? You were saying,
well, I was saying that I think that it's harder to find people who are willing to take their profession and be unrecognized and deceive people, get paid probably a lot less money for it on government, pay, versus taking that to say Hollywood and being known right. for your skill. I'm just saying that I think that they do such crappy work and unconvincing work because they have a hard time finding people willing to deceive. That's just my
I don't, and I think that. I like to think that they're really dumb, but I think they're smarter than maybe some of us give them credit for. And I think all of these mistakes, or maybe some of them are truly mistakes, I do think they're trying to let it out there. I think they want the world to wake up because there's going to be a new world, right? They want to do a great reset, which could be coming any day. Who knows? Could be the next 2 years. I think the world will not look like it looks now. And that world will be a different world, and that'll be a world where everyone knows it's flat. Maybe who knows? Who knows who knows what they'll know?
I did not know this about you, Dave. So you're putting forward that they are trying to wake people up.
It's a theory. It's a theory.
Yeah.
I go back and forth. I say Elon Musk is in on it. Elon Musk is a mind-controlled puppet. I go back and forth. I don't know which one it is.
I didn't know that. I said that. I didn't know that because that's my theory too. So I did not know that about you. So.
Yeah, I think that I think that they can't be this stupid, can they? So did you see this? Did you see this? This guy is like, I don't even know what he's doing, putting food in his zipper or whatever, right? And look at his tattoo. Baphomet. It's Baphomet with sigils on his fingers. Why would they show that? Why would they have that? Right? Again, how many Baphomets do you need to go to space? And this will be Katy Perry. You flip her thing over. It's Baphomet. That's the mission patch. Is that just a coincidence? As I say that, I'm looking at my design on my shirt. I'm like, if I turn this over, is that Baphomet? It better not be.
I was going to say something. No, I totally forgot.
So now it's even 1-to-1.
Well, no. So there are some things that I think that they are doing well with this, and I'll throw this out there. So I don't know if you have the photo with you of the long exposure shot, and I know you were criticizing that on your channel, and maybe you're seeing something I don't, because I was kind of looking at that going, because I used to be a photographer.
Okay.
And back in the day, I was a professional photographer, a wedding photographer, and I used to love long exposure photography. And
They're saying that long exposure is like a quarter of a second.
yeah. I was trying to figure out, like, if I were in a vacuum of space, moving, how fast they're moving. I don't know how shaky it is. I don't know how smooth the ride is, right? All these things. I don't know what kind of lenses they're using. I was trying to think, like, how long of an exposure would that take to take that photo?
They said a quarter of a second, which is, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Though they got a 10 million ISO or whatever. It's nonsense. And how you've been on a small boat, right? You've been on a boat, a rowboat, any size boat.
I just crossed the Atlantic in a big boat over 2 weeks.
But if you're on a small boat, and let's just say it's perfectly calm, there's no wind, no current, no nothing, and you move across the boat, or you just get out, you walk to the other side of the boat, or you push off one side, the boat's going to just start pivoting in the water. It's going to pivot. They're in space. There is no resistance. There's no wind holding them straight. There's no nothing holding them straight. So every time they push off a wall, there's an equal opposite reaction. That thing would be wobbling all over the place. I mean, just in a room, hang a box, get in a box, hang it from the ceiling, and move around in that box. The box is going to go all over the place.
Dave, I've been in this for 10 years, and that's the first time I ever heard that. So I never once put that together.
So they're like, oh,
you just ruined a lot of sci-fi films for me, you know.
That NASA turned the spacecraft so we can see the Earth today. How do you turn a spaceship in a space vacuum? And like when you turn it, how do you stop it from just pivoting, right? A satellite they spin it and it spins for 50 years, right? How do they stop it from turning? Oh, they have thrusters, to get it perfect. What if a guy moves? What if a guy sneezes in there? Like, people just believe this nonsense. It's exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. Did you see this? Now this is I wouldn't hang my hat on this one, but this is, if you watch her hands, you watch her hands. Her hands you'll see the shadow with her hands on her belt, and when they go away, there's no shadow of the puppet because the puppet's not real. It's virtual reality. Now you can see her right hand and left hand shadow. Here goes her right hand, goes around that way. Where's the shadow of the puppet?
So
now, yeah, go ahead.
Are you saying that the puppet is not real? His name is the mascot ZGI, which I think it's for zero gravity indicator, though I think that they're mocking CGI. But apparently his name is Rise, and a third grader created him, which I could believe that a third grader, whatever, came up.
But here's the thing: you saw the instance where we can see the lettering that's on another layer through it. Did you see that yet?
No, but I was just going to say this, that apparently ZGI Rise is carrying 5,647,888 names in him. So if you're saying that he's not really on the ship, then apparently
they wouldn't pick those colors. I don't have the one that's going around, but there was one time they were using it, you can see some letters behind it, kind of because the green and the blue. Now the green and the blue on that thing, they would, if they're using green screens, they purposely would bring green and blue to prove they're not using green screens, because if that's just virtual reality, it won't affect the green screen. So they purposely do that to tell, to like, hey, you guys, we're not using green screens. Look at the toy. But then they gave us a peanut. Now the question is, did they give it to us, or did some flat earther or glober, probably glober, because flat earthers don't try to trick people, globers do, added that and then let us run with it, and then they're going to debunk it because I went back and I found the original news footage, and it wasn't there. But we know that they can change footage on YouTube after the fact without showing it changed. There was a rocket launch once where one of Elon's rockets was coming down, and the two cameras looking down, one of them screwed up, and they both had the same feed. And then hours later, the live feed was changed on YouTube, where no one else can do that. So they do have the ability to do that. But I just, for fun, made this. Now I'm going to have a little thing here that said, this is fake. I made this. Don't pay attention. So you got the little Rise guy, and when it goes down here, and I kind of did the same thing they did. I just used my chroma key, and you can see, it'll show you in a second, let it come. You can see some letters hiding behind there, right? And the letters we saw was OWN, or it was like the ones that we saw on the one that they showed. It could have been the word clown, right? Which is just interesting. But here you can see those letters in there. Do you see it? I'll go back. I'll make it bigger. Hold on, let me make it bigger. Bigger. There we go. Transition. So I'll go back. So this is just me showing that this could be done. Now, I'm not making excuses for them. You see those letters? It actually says flat Earth.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what happened. So it's not something we can hang our hat on. We have to be careful. We have to be careful about that. About, running with stuff, because they're trying to bait us into stuff that they can later explain away.
Right. Yeah.
So we know they're not using sodium vapor, and you're saying they're not using anamorphic green screen, so they're probably just doing all of it in post.
I don't know. They might be using green screens. I think they're doing different things. I think, with AI now, you can literally do everything. 20 years ago, the movie Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. Remember it?
Yeah.
Where they're faking wars, and they got a girl running out of Kosovo, a burning village. They're like, we need it to be more emotional. Oh, she needs to carry a cat. And they're like, we don't have a cat. We can't find a cat. And he's like, well, we're running out of time. Here, just give her this bag of potato chips and we'll swap it out later. So she comes running out with a bag of potato chips, and then they swap it out later. That was 20 years ago. They could do that. Imagine what they have. Imagine what they have. Right?
I can imagine, yeah.
So, I don't even know at this point. I don't even know if those astronauts are real people. Do we know that they're real people? Do we?
I don't know, but I'm going to start collecting photos like the Challenger photos. It's a good day to start.
Yeah,
I watched Gattaca yesterday, and every single shot in that Hollywood movie '95 with Uma Thurman and what's his name, Stephen Dorff, maybe. Every shot of the launch is straight up. There's like 5 shots in the movie, straight up, like a line. That should be the first indicator, Yeah. Everybody knows.
Have you seen this one? So when you're using virtual reality objects, there's a tracking dot. So here's the tracking dot. Watch the tracking dot. So this is their play. Again, we get videos of them playing with their food. Wait, why is it going? Here we go. Sorry about that. Playing with their food. So the dot's there, and then it's flipping around. Wait, take the video camera and put it out the window. So there's the dot, and then let it go for a second. Flips over. No dot. No dot. No dot. Watch again. No dot. No dot. Dot. That's just a glitch. Now, is that on purpose? Are they that dumb? Are they doing it in real time and they screw up? Or are they kind of just seeing, maybe they're trying to let us know.
You've done a lot of these videos where you kind of do your own version of it. What do you think the glitch is? The red dot. What would cause that?
There's too many things going on. When like if I go like this, my green screen is really fucking rock solid. Excuse me, and things will glitch out. Things will glitch out when they have layers, and when you're using augmented reality, things will glitch out. We've caught so many of them on my app. If you go to the NASA fails, the ISS fails. There's so many. It's incredible. Here's another issue. You ever see those Tesla commercials? Not commercials, on YouTube. They put someone in a Tesla, and then the driver goes from like 0 to 80 in 3 seconds. And the person's like, whoa, like their eyeballs are going back in their head, and they brace themselves. Well, the astronauts, good.
No, I was going to say, no, I actually don't watch that many commercials.
It's not a commercial. It's just like on YouTube. Just put, Tesla acceleration test or whatever. And, so 0 to 80 in 3 seconds. How about 0 to 200 in 5 seconds? What would that be like? Right? 0 to 200 in 5 seconds. Now, this thing, from the time it goes, until the engine shut off at 8 minutes, has to get over 17,000 miles an hour. I think it's closer to 25,000 miles an hour, but we'll give the benefit of the doubt. Say it's just 17,000 miles an hour. That's 0 to 200 every 5 seconds for 8 minutes. That's an increase of 200 miles per hour every 5 seconds. No human could survive that consciously. So you would just pass out. And then the astronauts are like, during the takeoff, it was really amazingly smooth. We were afraid that we wouldn't be able to press some buttons and stuff. They need astronauts to press buttons, right? And it's like, oh, it was just fine, right? Are they mocking us? And then if you noticed on the launch, they didn't mention the astronauts for the first 15 minutes. Not one peep, not one mention, not one video, not audio, nothing inside the capsule. You know why?
Why?
I think on this one is, I think they realize one thing: the less they show us, the less we can tear apart.
Makes sense. Yeah. How you said I know the 17,000 miles per hour. You were saying what you think it would have to be.
The claims are to get out of Earth's orbit, you got to go 25,000 miles an hour. The space station, the alleged fake station, is going 17,500 miles an hour. It's endlessly falling around the Earth, right? It doesn't get any faster. It's falling in a vacuum, but it never gets any faster. It's like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. So,
yeah, that's a whole different topic right there.
And then, of course, they're launching a multi-billion-dollar rocket. And there's an airplane flying right by that happens to get this shot. They would have a 500-mile window of no airplanes.
So, okay, just to be clear on this, because I guess I was a little confused on that, because I thought they were claiming that it kind of they kind of shoot it off at an angle a little bit, right? To kind of go.
There would be no planes allowed within hundreds and hundreds of miles of this thing, but there was planes all over the place. There's
right.
planes all over the place. So that's nonsense. But think about the acceleration. So we took it here. It's a little wider.
Oh, here we go.
So we took it here, and we measured 7.5 seconds. So 7.5 seconds was here. So now in 7.5 seconds, it's going like 300, 400 miles an hour faster. And so we'll measure the next 7.5 seconds, and it's going the same speed. It's the same. So where's the acceleration? Now it's got to make that up later. Like it's going to have to go 0 to 300 in 5 seconds or 0 to 400. Absolute and total nonsense.
So according to a G-force calculator, that would be 32.21884 feet per second squared.
How many G's is it?
32 G's, man.
No, it's not 32 G's. But I did have
that's true. That's true. Okay.
Calculate it, and it came up with a G-force that was just so stupid. This is the photo they gave us. Now, look, this is the sunny side of the Earth. This is a long exposure, right? So this is the dark side of the Earth. It's nighttime. First time ever they've gotten pictures of the night side of Earth. Wow, technology's really changed. And so this land here, we thought it was Australia, then we thought it was South America. It's upside down, and it is Africa because we can see whatever Italy or whatever this is over here.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought it was Australia. My son was in here. He's like, "What is that?" I was like, "I think that's Australia."
So this is what it has to be because we lined it up. So this is what it's showing us on there. Where's the rest of the land? How come we don't see South America? How come we don't see Australia? Oh, the clouds.
Where's the rest of Africa, man? You got rid of all of Africa.
Yeah.
By any chance, do you know how far away from the Earth they were when they took that shot?
Far.
They were on Earth. Surprise.
Yeah, they were in Texas.
Okay.
Where was I going? I was going here. I'm saving my favorite for last. This was interesting. Now I can't wait to hear their lame excuse. So, how many astronauts do you see? 1, 2.
There's a guy on top again.
3, 4. How many astronauts are on the plane? on the flight. Four.
Four.
Right? Who moves the camera? And look, it goes over to this window. Now the camera aperture changes because of the brightness. Bullshit. It's brighter in here than it is out there. But who did this perfect pan?
I'm just wondering, I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just curious. Would anyone have like a handheld, I don't know, remote that
drone? They're all waving. They're all going, yay, like little children. If you could hear the audio, it's literally, they're all waving. So they're not controlling a drone.
But this is the same guy.
No, because there's the tilt right here at the very end where they tilt the earth to the left. They're tilting the camera so that you can't have that on a. I mean, I suppose you could have it on a tripod attached to the wall with gimbals on it, but there's no way to do that unless you've got a really high advanced. Nobody's running a remote. Yeah, you're right.
This is the one they have him on the other side now. The guy on top is on the other side. So this is the third wall. Oh my God! How about if that's the third wall with the friggin' window? Take the camera. I don't want to see your ugly faces. Put it out the window. Show us the moon. Show us the sun. Show us the stars. Show us everything. And what kind of lighting do they have in here? It's incredible. It's the most even lighting everywhere. Like they're trying to use a green screen or something or something. The lighting is ridiculous.
I was going to say the guy who filmed this is the same guy who filmed the Apollo 11 landing on the moon.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe it's that guy, right? Or the guy that left on the moon that filmed the taking off.
That's what I meant. Yeah. When they took off, that's what I meant.
All three of us are in photography. And we can see from the man on the far left, the shadows from his nose and forehead. You can see that the light is above the man who is laying down, above his, it looks like would be elbow directly. But the height of it doesn't work in that room from the schematics that I've seen. There's no way. It would be like 4 feet outside of the vessel. Outside of the capsule.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then I was looking at images. We went on NASA's website to look at some images of Earth. And this is on NASA's website. They're years apart. This is I forget what the years, 2007, 2002, or 12. I'm not sure. All right. Look at the clouds. Look at this swirl down here. It's the same exact swirl. Look at this little cloud right here. Look at it over here. Look at the little notch right here in this cloud. There's a notch in that cloud. Look at this V going up here, right? Here's the V up here, right? These are the same clouds. This is off of NASA's website today.
What was it? Yeah. What was the years apart on this?
The years apart. What 2007 and 2 or something like that. I mean, I can look it up. But this goes to show that people I don't care. Even if they tell me the earth is flat, I'm still not going to believe it. 2002 and 2007.
And no chemtrailing.
Of course not. Chemtrailing is not real. Come on. And you know what? If you look at the clouds they show us, right? The clouds on the other ones, like the blue marble. Here, let me go to a regular Earth photo. You look at these clouds, it's insane. Let's see about this. Some of these clouds are 1,000 miles long. Are there 1,000-mile clouds?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, they seem huge.
Yeah. And then the continent size changes in 1 year, right? And they say America's getting fatter. America's getting thinner. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, there was that guy who did these are composite images, obviously, but I'm wondering what the official explanation is for how far away they do they even say they photographed these anymore? I mean, there's no way they could have if they didn't have the ISS would not have been high enough for these satellites, or how did they explain this?
How they explain what?
As you can see, Dave, I'm a little rusty at this. So
no, it's okay. It's like you don't have to be that smart to understand the Earth is flat. You have to be really dumb or indoctrinated. The indoctrination, people go, well, what are your credentials? Credentials just show how deeply indoctrinated you are, right? Where do the credentials come from? They come from the books that the Rockefellers make. If you memorize and regurgitate that nonsense, you get a degree and you can teach the next generation.
Yeah, it's like that in every field. I mean, like Paulie and I talk about this a lot because we're more theological. Anyone who went to seminary is the most indoctrinated, or we're talking about health. Anyone who went to like nursing school or whatever are the most indoctrinated into the hospitals. So I get it. Yeah, it's definitely.
Do you think that boat's worth $11.7 million?
I don't know what a boat that size would cost.
You ever been on a boat like that?
Not like that, no.
I have. It's incredible. The bathrooms are like better than the bathrooms in my house. The kitchen, it's amazing, right? $11.7 million for this boat, right?
And
How about this house? Now, the house itself is less than the boat, but it's the land you're paying for. And this is probably right on the water. 19.25 million, 19,250,000, right?
Better have a good view.
It has a great view, right? Great view. You ready?
I'm ready.
$23 million for that toilet.
Which broke.
$23 million. Now, let me tell you how this toilet works. You take a bag like for your kitchen garbage and you put it in there and you put the ring over it. So now there's just a bag. They say that suction pulls, but you got a bag covering it. So all that's going to do is going to suck the bag in and make the bag very rigid. Then you drop your deuce in there, and then they have a stick. It's like a broken hockey stick that you push it down with. And then you have to go here. You have to open it up. You have to pull the zip tie to close it, and then you push it down with the stick. $23 million. Wake up, people. I think your audience, they're awake, right?
Yeah.
Are they awake to this stuff?
They are awake to this stuff, yeah.
So everyone out there, there's 140 people watching. Go wake somebody up. Go wake somebody up. Use Artemis, use NASA, use Flat Earth, use whatever. Use the whatever. There's so much stuff out there. Everyone needs to wake up. Time's over. I give you until the weekend. That's it. I'm only giving you one more day.
Artemis and I have something in common because I don't know if you could tell, I'm in my trailer right now. I'm actually on the beach, and our toilet broke this week. So my wife and I are repairing it yesterday.
Oh my God. It's a $20 million to repair it.
We were saying, if I had $23 million for a new toilet, that'd be nice. Cause we have like no budget for any kind of toilet. So
if somebody gave me $1,000 and installed that toilet for free, I'd sue them. that it's so dumb. And they're mocking us. They're literally mocking us. They're laughing at us. Maybe they're not trying to tell us. Maybe they're just like, oh, watch this. We're going to make this so easy. And they're still not going to get it. And there's so many people that don't get it. But I've seen a lot of big channels in the last couple of days. I got called by some major, we'll just say people that want to interview me. Major people that want to interview me. So it's getting out there and it's going to break. It's going to break real fast one day. Like one big interview, one tweet by the right person. That's what's going to break it. We're already at that critical mass. The question is, will somebody step up to the plate and do it before they collapse the whole system on us? And then nobody cares.
Yeah, I'm actually very optimistic for the future, Dave. And when I got into the red pill movement, it was back in the Sandy Hook era, kind of 9/11 truth, all that, and Boston bombing, and it was a very grim outlook. I remember we're all going to be rounded up into camps, and it was a very, very dark future. And during the whole COVID psychodrama, my views started shifting and changing, even though it felt like they were basically pushing the button and it was all going down. I couldn't believe how many people I was seeing waking up. It was just in these waves just of these people just waking up in mass. And it seems like it's almost like what I would call a Wile E. Coyote effect, that with like Acme, that the more they try to trick us, the more it's just backfiring on them left and right. So that's where I kind of started out saying that I'm actually excited for Artemis and what they're doing right now.
Absolutely. Make sure you have enough non-GMO popcorn because the show is starting right now. It started already. Get ready. So that's all I have on Artemis right now. So
that was good. Yeah, I'm sorry I was so speechless through some of that. I was just like, that was good. That was really good.
And I'm actually compiling making a lot of videos, compiling stuff. And if you go on the app, if you go to the more resources, which is the web button right here, and you click that right here, I've got an Artemis button. And that brings you to all the best Artemis videos. And check it daily. There'll be more. The new videos will be at the top, and they'll just keep stacking up. I expect there'll probably be another dozen in there before the end of today. And that way, if you're like, let me see some more Artemis stuff, let me see what else is found, just click that button on the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app that you can find at flatearthdave.com.
And I don't know if you, I was going to say before you go, I get a few more minutes with you here. Because I'm more of a esoteric person, and I'm really interested in the mythological religious aspects of this, kind of like I said earlier. And this was launched, correct me if I'm wrong, this was launched on April 1st, right? April Fool's Day.
It was. And I think the first photo from space of the curve of the Earth, which was straight, was on April 1st also.
Yeah, that is true.
So just to say, Flat Earth is not there. The Globers love making empty claims. Oh, Artemis is going to kill Flat Earth. No, Artemis is probably going to kill me because I'm so busy making new content. I released 3 videos today already. But these are people that are joining in on the Friend Finder. It's absolutely amazing. It's getting insane, and it's going to go. It's only going to go parabolic from here. So.
Well, I don't know if this is really, all that damning of evidence, but I am interested in the religious aspects of this. And of course, Artemis does show up once in the Bible in Acts chapter 19. And it's actually the story where Paul is run out of a town because the idol makers are really upset. They're making these Dinah/Artemis idols. Now, what's interesting about these idols that they have been uncovered, and we have 1st, 2nd century, these Artemis idols from Ephesus, and she's covered in eggs. They look like breasts, but they're, she's covered in eggs all around. And this is where we get into the egg ceremony. Religiously, eggs go back to primeval Africa. I mean, the earliest graves, people were being buried with eggs. But so it's interesting that they had on there, they chose to do it right over Easter, and on the shuttle they had some sort of like, I don't know, I was reading an article, I guess, I don't know if you saw, where they were doing like hiding eggs or something like that and discovering them on there.
Somebody did, somebody did a breakdown on what Artemis is and what it all means and what they're doing. There was so much information in there. It blew my mind. I downloaded it. I don't even remember half the stuff that she said, but it will be in one of the compilations that I'm going to be putting out hopefully tonight. That'll be in the Artemis list there. So it's incredible what's out there.
Well, Dave, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I hope we can have you on again. I don't know if you remember me. I do. You
wrote a book.
Well, Well,
that's how we met, right? Because of your book. No?
Yeah. Through the Patricia Steer article. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I interviewed for that long time ago, and it was supposed to be a whole series and it kind of fell apart. But so that was a long time ago. So that was that was like 7 or 8 years ago now. I can't believe the years are going by. So I'm gonna just end it there, and I just thank you. That was really awesome. And next time,
wait, one last thing for people that are trying to wake other people up. Again, don't do it forcefully. Ask questions. Ask them to watch a video with you. One of the greatest videos are if you go to the more resources page, which is this page right here on the app, and you scroll down to full length videos right here. YouTube, Google is hiding all those videos from you. I tell people if you can watch the first 3 videos on there, you're a flat earther. There's no doubt. Frequently asked questions. Please don't email me like, can you explain how the sun sets? Can you explain how seasons work? I don't have time for that. It's all here. Seasons, sunsets. Why would they lie? Everything is here in the FAQ section. So, whoops, I want to do that. So, flatearthdave.com, and resources are there. And it's your job, everyone listening, to wake up somebody today, tomorrow, and the next day, and every day after that.
All right.
It's getting easy. It's getting real easy. Because
Yeah,
there's
it
so
is
much.
awesome.
Everyone's
Thank you
so
so much,
primed
man.
right
Yeah.
now. Everyone's so primed. Right.
Thanks, Dave,
So-
for coming on, man. You're awesome, bro.
All
I'll
right,
have
man,
to. I'll have to plan to invite you on with Artemis 3. Maybe we can make this like a
oh my
annual.
God.
And then Artemis 4. They they pushed it back now. I guess Artemis 4. They're landing on the moon, but they got to do a couple test runs first to be able to figure out how to get back on the moon again. But so you got 2 years to plan for that for the moon landing. So
Fantastic.
all right.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.